Hey Mark, it was good to talk to you this morning. It was pretty evident to me that you've definitely got a rotation through the pelvis. It was, definitely see that when you were lifting up your shirt. So hopefully what I do today is going to help you release that, and it should hopefully bring the pelvis back into position. And then also you're seeing a physical therapist on Thursday, so they should be able to help quite a bit as well. So what I'm going to show you to do today is release through the quadratus lumborum, which is the muscles through the lower back, the piriformis and the glute region, and then also through the psoas. So you're going to do both sides. You'll probably find that your right side, I think, is going to feel a little worse, and then the left psoas should feel the tightest. I could be wrong, I get muddled up sometimes from side to side. So we're going to start with our QL muscle, which is these lovely little babies down in our back. So just be careful not to go onto the spine. You're not going to damage it, it just doesn't feel nice. So coming down onto your back, you can also do this against a wall. I just prefer to do it lying down, so if you find you like doing it better against a wall, then whatever feels good. So get the ball into the lower part of the back, and then you can just start to roll up and down along the side of the spine, and you can also roll from side to side, and then you should come to a point just under where your rib cage is, and that's where the quadratus lumborum joins up into, and there'll be a nice little spot in there most likely that feels like you want to sit there for a little bit and try and let it release. And then you can lie down all the way onto your back, and first of all just start by breathing nice and deeply and let your body weight sink into the ball. And you can sit there for as long as you like. You can move it around a little bit, and then we're going to add a bit of a stretch into it. So you're going to breathe in, and then as you breathe out, you're going to reach down towards the opposite heel. So you're moving to the right side and then coming back up. Breathing in, as you're breathing out, stretching down. It doesn't have to be a big movement. You just want enough to kind of let the ball roll over the trigger point, and the stretching of the muscle is going to help that release. So you're adding lateral flexion as you twist to the side. Both sides, see how each one feels. And then you're going to move down into your glutes, specifically the piriformis. And to find that, it's really not hard to find. You'll find it pretty quickly, probably could bring a little tear to the eye. Basically, nice little trigger point right in the center of your glute. And then you just want to try and relax as much as possible. Release your body weight into it. You could also use a foam roller. I just prefer to use a ball. And just try and relax as much as you can. And then you can add a little bit of movement again. So you might want to kind of move the leg out and in, adding a bit of internal and external rotation. And then you can start to roll around through the whole glute, and you'll probably find some other areas that need releasing as well. Again, do both sides. See how that feels. So you don't have to spend ages and ages doing it. Just sort of ease your way into it, breathe into it, and then go from there. There's kind of a point where you can kind of go too far and irritate the piriformis even more. So just kind of erge on the side of caution with that one. And for the psoas, you're going to be lying on your back. Again, doing both sides. Start with the left side though. Legs can be straight, or you can do it bent. I prefer to start with the legs straight. It makes it a little bit more intense, but it's okay. So you're finding the ASIS, or that pointy bone on your hip. Bring the ball onto that point, and then just move it medially. So move it to the inner part of the hip, so it's not actually on the bone. And then you're going to grab your light weight, maybe even a heavy book or just something that's going to let the ball ease its way in there. And again, just holding and breathing. You can kind of move it around a little bit and see if you can find a nice little spot. Mine aren't too bad at the moment, so it's kind of not too, doesn't feel that bad for me, but mine usually are pretty gnarly. And again, just breathing into it. And then you can start to add some movement again. nice and slow, breathing in, keep the heel connected to the ground and dragging it up towards your glute. And breathing out, let it sink back down. And again, you can do that 3, 4, 5 times. And then moving to the other side. And then if you've got time, you've got a nice little muscle on the side of your hip called your TFL. And to find that, again, you find the pointy part of your hip, come about 2 centimeters down and then about 2 centimeters out to the side. And that can also get quite gnarly when the hips have been rotated. Find both sides and see which one you'll know as soon as you kind of hit it, and you can get on your side or against a wall and just roll along it. Hold your body pressure on there and just again breathe into it. And that should hopefully bring the pelvis out of rotation. Let me know how you go either way, and then we can start adding some exercises into it to keep the pelvis where it's meant to be. We also have to take into consideration that you broke your foot as well, so I kind of got a feeling it's something to do with that. 300 burpees every day, it's all going to add up, and you're probably using one side more than the other. If you are going to keep training, I'm not going to say don't stop training because I wouldn't stop myself. Keep everything in neutral for now. So just kind of forward movements, no lunges if you can avoid them, just because it's can cause them to go out of place pretty quickly. So yeah, let me know how you go, and I'll talk to you soon. Booyah!